Take the first couple of breaths in the child's pose to just get settled, to get your brain down into your body so you can just let your body move through space moment by moment. Take a long breath in through your nose and fill yourself up. A big exhale out. Another breath like that, fill up. Big exhale. One more time, fill up all the way. Exhale all the way. Let's start to build your Ujjayi breath. A long inhale with a pause at the top. Long exhale with a pause at the bottom. You're starting to draw your awareness, your attention down into your physical body, especially if you've just come from work and it's all been up in your head all day. Get down into your body. Downward facing dog. Keep building your breath. You can pedal out your feet, shake out your head, any kind of movements you want to take to get your down dog situated. Spread out your fingers super wide. Press them down into the mat. Yeah, make a connection. Walk your feet up to your hands. Hang in ragdoll. So you do whatever you want to do with your hands and your arms. You can make a box with your arms or let them hang down towards the floor. I've been a big fan of swaying side to side lately, and that's a good fit for this pose. But press your feet way into the floor. And pull the pit of your belly way up to the ceiling. Add more breath, really purposeful right from the beginning of your practice. Then press into your feet, rise all the way up to standing. Reach through your fingertips, bring your thumbs to heart center. Set your intention for your practice. Pick one specific thing that you want to focus on, and we'll send out those intentions with 3 ohms. Take a deep breath in. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull if you've got weights. High push up and pause. Right knee to right elbow, tap. Left knee to left elbow, tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in together. Big exhale out. 2 more. Breathe in. Breath out. Last one. Empty everything. Look forward and move. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Extended mountain. A long, slow breath all the way up to your fingertips. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High push up. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. And know that you can go all the way to the floor after the knee taps if you'd like, instead of holding that low push up. 1 more breath together. Clear everything out. Step or jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Extended mountain, rise up. Take your gaze up to the ceiling. Forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull. High push up. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Clear it out. 2 more. In. Breath out to get that heat moving. 1 more. Empty completely. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. 1 more sun salutation A. Rise up to standing and reach. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High push up. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Empty out. 2 more. Breath in. Push the air back out. One more. Exhale everything. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose and stay. Stay way back in your hips and start to build the breath. Big and powerful. Yes, toes light and lifted off the mat. Take one more breath in here. Twist right on your exhale. Inhale, open your arms. Exhale and stay. Good. Back up to chair. Reach. Twist left on your exhale. Inhale, open. Stay and breathe out. Back to chair. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High plank. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. Step through. You've got one big breath to reach all the way up to the ceiling. Low push up. Hands to the mat. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Left side warrior one. Step. Lunge deep. Lift up tall. Low push up. Hands to the mat. Upward facing. Downward facing. 3 big breaths. In. Push the air out. 2 more. Fill up. Big exhale. Last one. Exhale everything. Step or jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose for 1 breath this time. Reach. Twist right. Inhale, open. Stay and breathe out. Good. Chair pose. Twist left. Inhale, open. Stay and breathe out. Chair pose. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High plank. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. Step through. Stretch your chest all the way up to the ceiling. Low push up. Big breath in up dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Left side warrior one. Step, press and reach. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 big breaths. In. Push the air out. Yeah, sigh if that's there. Breathe in. Soften your knees on your exhale. Yes, 1 more. Empty to the pit of your belly. Step or jump, feet to hands. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down, chair pose, sit deep. Twist right. Inhale, open. Stay and twist. Good, chair pose. Twist left. Breathe in and open. Stay and twist. Back to chair. Forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull. High plank. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. You got it. Step, press, and reach. Chaturanga. Hands to the floor. Upward facing. Downward facing. Left side warrior one. Step, press. Stretch the sides of your body up. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Good. 2 more. In. Exhale. Last one. Push all the air out. Move forward. You've got 1 more sun bee. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose. Deepest one yet. Twist right. Breathe in and open. Stay and twist. Good. Chair pose. Twist left. Breathe in. Open. Stay and twist. Back to chair. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High push up. Get those fingertips down on the mat. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. The deepest lunge on that front leg yet. Knee over ankle. Good. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Left side. Last warrior one on this side. Press and reach. Chaturanga. Hands to the floor. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Woo. Well, now that we're all dripping sweat, we're in a good place to be. Send your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. So you can stay here in three-legged. In fact, let's all stay here in three-legged. Build the breath up a little bit. Steady and rhythmic. Yeah, you exhale through your mouth if you need that. Then stay here or flip your dog. Go all the way over. If you're flipping your dog, it's both feet flat on the floor. All of the fingertips on that hand on the ground. Press down on purpose. Yes, flip back over, side plank. Send your left hand up to the sky. You can have an open palm or a weight in your hand. That's up to you. Steady rhythmic breath. On purpose and intentional breath. You've got one more inhale here. Flex both of your ankles. High to low push-up you go. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Send your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip and then reconnect to the breath. Let it fill up your entire physical body. Stay or flip. Yeah, it's calm, cool as a cucumber. You just flip over, plant that foot like you're not even sweating right now. Totally fine. Good. Flip back over, side plank. Send your top hand up to the ceiling and stretch your arms apart. So if you've got a weight in that lifted hand in your side plank, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Yes, Ratana, beautiful. One more breath. Chaturanga, hands to the mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in together. A big exhale out. Right side crescent lunge. Step through. Right foot between your hands. You're on the ball of your back foot this time. You got a couple breaths so you can get situated down on your feet, down on your toes. Hands up to the sky. So come deep down into the lunging leg, where you can really feel the muscles in your leg squeeze into the bone. Nice, Nima. Then press your back thigh up to the ceiling. Yes. Keep the legs this active. Hands to heart, twist right. Open your arms. You can have the arm on the outside of your knee or down on the inside with fingertips on the floor. Yeah, there you go, Karen. Spread your arms apart. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open up to Warrior 2. Unwind. Oh, yeah. Sometimes Warrior 2 can feel like a rest pose after that. Come down deep in the lunging leg. Knee right on top of your ankle. So your front foot straight ahead at 12 o'clock. And then root the center of your heel down so you can lift and spread your front toes. Yeah, let them be a little soft. Extended side angle. Elbow to thigh or fingertips down by your front arch. Add more breath. I got a little quiet. Yeah, no big deal. The moment you notice that the breath is missing, be the one that restarts it. Add your bind. Top arm behind your back. Maybe the bottom arm underneath your front thigh to meet the fingertips. No matter what variation you're in, peel that left shoulder onto the back side of your body. Yeah. One more breath here. High to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side crescent lunge. Step your left foot between your hands. Couple of breaths to get settled. So you want to make sure that your feet are at least hip width distance, if not a little bit wider, so they're on train tracks rather than on a tightrope. Then come down low in the lunging leg. Back thigh up to the ceiling, where both legs are doing something different, but they're both squeezing in and stabilizing the foundation of the pose. Hands to heart twist left. If the pose feels unstable in the feet, you just come a little deeper into the lunge so you can really press that front foot into the mat. Open your arms if they're not open already. Yes. Back thigh up to the ceiling. There you go, Charles. Here for 5. You got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Warrior 2. Face the opposite way. Woo! It's like a spring uncoiling and land right in your feet. Front foot straight ahead at 12 o'clock. Come down into the lunging leg. You're warming up your legs and creating heat so you can make a shift by the end of the practice. Extended side angle. Elbow to thigh or fingertips by your arch. It takes something. It takes work. It takes being a little bit uncomfortable for shift to happen. Take your bind, either the half or the full, knowing that none of these poses are going to be held for a super long time. So you just go to the full extent of it, whatever your body needs in the moment. Then high to low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Feels like a good time for a sigh. Take a deep breath in together. Yeah, 2 more like that. In, exhale. Last one. Push all the air out. Step or jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose and stay. Way down into the chair. All of that weight back in your heels so your toes can get light. Yes. Hands to heart twist right. We're going to work the bind in this chair twist. So open up your arms, let your bottom arm come between your knees. Yep, right down towards the floor. That's step 1. Step 2, top arm around your back. I know we're in the chair. We're not going to be here too long. Last piece is the full bind. Your bottom arm will come underneath your left thigh and around the outside of your hip. Yeah, you may need to bend your knees a little bit deeper. Nice, John. You can stay here or press into your right foot and rise up for bird of paradise. Beautiful. You got it. 3, 2, 1. Chair pose. Forward fold. I know. First 2 fingers around your big toes. You're asking a lot of your body so that there's possibility that a big shift can happen. There's room for something new. Shake out your head, yes and no. Let that go. Yeah, just let it be heavy. Softness in your knees. At least a little bit of a bend, so it's your hamstrings that are doing the stretch. Woof. Crow pose number 1 from the head of your mat. So spread out your fingers nice and wide right away from the start. Set your gaze right out in front of your fingertips. Knees up on the backs of your triceps. So whether your feet are up or on the ground, squeeze the inner edges of your feet together. Squeeze your toes in towards center. Good. 1 more breath here. Step or jump back. Low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take 1 breath in. Big exhale out. Move forward, feet to hands. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose, sit deep. All of that weight back in your hips, back in your heels so the toes lift up. Yes. Keep the toes light. Hands to heart. Twist left. You're just going to go step by step. Open your arms. Bottom arm goes between your knees toward the floor. Top arm around your back for the half. Bottom arm underneath your right thigh or on the outside of your hip so your fingertips can meet. Maybe it's bird of paradise. You press your left foot into the ground a lot. Press, 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 press to come up. 3. Nice. 2, 1. Chair pose. Forward fold. Good work. Gorilla. Step on your palms. Toes all the way up to your wrists. So you may need to bend your knees a little or a lot to get there. Bend them as much as you need to. Bird of paradise can be a tricky pose. So even just attempting the thing and letting it get messy and not knowing what it's going to look like, perfect. That's the space you want to be in. Release your hands. Go for crow number 2. You'll have a couple of extra breaths on this one. So if you want to take this one upside down or play around with different crow variations, you've got time for that. For those of you sticking with traditional crow, steady breath in the crow is super helpful. Those exhales help you pull the pit of your belly way in and up and stabilize the pose. Nice. Headstands, flex your ankles or point your toes. Yes, Philomena, on purpose with the feet. You've got 1 more breath wherever you're working. Step or jump back, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Whew. Take a breath in together. Clear it out. Breathe in. Big exhale. Last one, fill up. Exhale it through your mouth. Get clear. Move forward, feet to hands. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Rise all the way up to standing. Eagle pose, right side, right arm under, right leg over. For the entire equanimity series, all of the balancing poses, you're just going to move slow and thoughtfully like you're moving underwater. So in your eagle, let your breath flow. Let it soften the edges of the pose. And if you need to shift and move, just do that. Shift and move. Left side eagle, left arm under, left leg over. You got it. Let the breath set the pace so you decide how far you sink in your hips, how high you lift your elbows. So there's constantly this sense of little minor adjustments happening the whole time. Nice. Right side eagle, second set. Right arm under, right leg over. Glue your eyes to one spot to help keep your balance. Add more breath. Yeah, steady breath. Keep your arms bound. Take airplane with your legs. Slow and controlled. Just press it straight back behind you. Yes. Beautiful transition. Stretch all the way out as long as you can go. Full airplane. Reach your arms behind you. Still with the breath. Long and steady. Keep your eyes set on a point on the floor. Take half moon. Left hand down, right arm straight up. You can bring it to the block or the floor. And then once you've got the full pose, then you can shift your gaze if you want to the side wall or up to the ceiling. So you're just doing one thing at a time. Flex that lifted ankle a little bit more. Yes, one more breath. Both feet to the mat. Eagle pose, left side, second set. Left arm under, left leg over. Eyes right on one point. Get settled, skin to muscle to bone. Squeeze everything into center. Steady breath. Arms stay bound, airplane with your legs. Full extension out through the crown of your head and out through your lifted foot. Stretch those 2 points apart. Full airplane. Reach your arms back. Long as you can get through your body. When you pull in the pit of your belly, that's what will help keep the length. Yes, Allison, just like that. Open up, half moon. Eyes can stay at the floor or shift to the side or up to the ceiling. That's what really can challenge your balance, is moving that gaze when you're balancing on one foot. You've got one more breath. Reach, feet to the floor. Standing bow or dancer's pose, right side. Strap for dancers. Standing bow, soft crease if your elbow faces out while you grab the inside of your ankle, just so you can really get that shoulder on the back side of your body. Take your pose. This is definitely a pose that can shorten breath or make you forget about the flow of your breath completely. So let that be your main point of focus. Steady, rhythmic breath in a way that it fills your whole physical body. Switch sides. Left side, standing bow or dancers. Soft crease of the elbow out. Take your pose. You've got the first round of these just to get the shape of the thing, to get a feel for it. Eyes on one point. Last big breath. Right side, second set. You can take the same pose you just did or take the other one, standing bow or dancer pose. Go for it. On this one, let yourself lean into it a little bit, where you lean right up to the edge of the pose, where a leg might get a little shaky or your foot might get higher than your head. Yep, you're coming right into the space. That full expression. Switch sides. It's like you're drawing a bow as taut as it'll go, and then you let go of the arrow at the last second. Last one on the left. You got it. Eyes on one spot. Let the tension start to build. Press your shins straight back behind you. Reach your chest, your hand, your arms full away from the center of your body. One more breath. Feet to the mat. Good work. Tree pose, right side. Tree pose, right side. Start with your hands at heart center just so that you can collect everything, get situated. Little bit of softness to your standing knee so the muscle around the joint can do the work instead of the locked out knee joint. Take cactus arms, bent elbows. From here, start to work both the front and back sides of your body by pulling your ribs together in the front and squeezing your shoulder blades together on your back. So I know for me, I get my shoulder blades in and then my ribs just splay right back out. Just keep working those two things. Ribs in, shoulder blades in. Ribs back in, shoulder blades in. One more breath here. Switch sides. Left side tree. Hands can start at heart center. Softness in the standing knee. When you've got that softness, you can really work the inner edge of your standing foot into the floor. Cactus arms. Wake up the fingertips. Yeah, the whole palms. Let them be part of the pose. Yes, or spirit fingers. That's good too. Perfect. Shoulder blades together, ribs together. Those two pieces. And can you keep the breath flowing even as you pull the ribs together in the front? Let that breath expand in the upper part of your chest. One more breath here. Both feet to the mat. Come up to the head of your mat if you're not there already. Extended mountain. Reach up to the ceiling. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High push up. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side triangle. Step your right foot between your hands. Take up a lot of space on your mat. Lots of space front to back. You can have a block on the outside of your shin or your hand down on your shin. That's up to you. Add more breath. If you can't hear your neighbor breathing, breathe a little bit louder. Yeah, if you can't hear the other person that's at home with you, breathe louder so their breath just subconsciously starts to sync up with yours. Top arm around your back. You can have it on the outside of your hip, or maybe you've got the range of flexibility to tuck it into your front hip crease. Peel that top shoulder open onto the back side of your body. Yes. Press into your feet. Rise all the way to standing. Side facing wide leg fold. Turn both of your feet to the long edge of your mat, at least parallel, if not a little bit pigeon-toed. Fold down. We're going to work on the twist this afternoon. So plant your right palm on the mat or your right fingertips templed on the mat. Left arm straight up to the sky. Twist and ring out towards the back edge of your mat. So the longer you get your spine, the more room you have for the twist. Good. Back to center. Left palm down. Right arm up to the sky. The whole spine, tailbone to crown, as long as you can stretch it out, and then ring and twist. Good. Both hands down. Press into your feet. Rise up to standing. Namaste, front facing forward fold. Little baby warrior one stands facing the front edge of your mat. Take a bind behind your back, either hand to elbow or reverse namaste. You choose the bind, hinge forward. Know that whatever bind you're choosing, it's working your shoulders and your wrists and stretching them out so that the bind will be a little bit more, there'll be more space for that bind the next time you're on your mat. Now soften your toes. Yeah. Twisting triangle, left arm down, right arm straight out. Twist and ring out to the side of the room. Block is a helpful tool. You can have your hand on your water bottle. Let it be your chest that's driving the twist. Like you want to stick the front of your chest on the side of the room instead of reaching your hand as high as it can go. Lead with the chest. Beautiful. One more breath here. High to low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take one breath in. Clear it all out. Left side triangle. Left foot between your hands. You got it. Block or water bottle on the outside of your shin. Long straight limbs, straight legs, straight arms. Let them stretch away from the center of your body. Top arm around your back. Work that bind, either behind the hip or in the hip crease. Draw that shoulder head, the outer part of your shoulder, straight back behind you. Yes. Nice, Paul. Press into your feet. Rise all the way to stand. Side facing wide leg folds from both feet. Take a bind this time. Interlace the hands at your low back or put a towel between your hands if your shoulders feel pretty tight today. Hinge forward. 2 things I want you to pay attention to. Softness in your knees. Yes, so the hamstrings can stretch. And then a softness in your elbows. That's a little bit trickier. Less about getting the hands to the floor, more about keeping the stretch in your shoulders and upper back. A little bit of the softness in the elbows will keep the stretch where it needs to be. Good. You might find that you pull a little bit one way, a little bit the other. Yeah, stretch out the fronts of your shoulders that way. Release your arms down. Rise all the way to stand. Namaste, front facing forward fold. Take your bind. Then feet hip width distance apart at least, if not a little wider, so you can square your hips. Hinge forward. You got it. And then check in with the weight distribution in your feet. If the front leg is loaded with all the weight, press the back foot down more. Down into the mat so it can take half the weight. These binds are looking good, everybody. You're doing some work with those binds, and I can see the difference. Twisting triangle, right arm down, left arm out. Lead with the chest as you ring and open up. It's really the torso that's making the twist happen, the abdominal muscles, the spine, and the arms just along for the ride. So with every breath, let your chest come a little closer to facing the side of the room. One more breath here. High to low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in together. Clear it out. 2 more. Exhale it out. Last one. Empty it out. Roll out to a high plank. Shoulders stacked right on top of your wrists. You've got 2 options here. You can hold the plank or do mountain climbers. Bring your knees into your nose. You'll hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way to the mat. The blessed floor, finally. Okay, Locus Pose or Superman. Locus Pose, hands back by your hips. Superman, arms out in front. If you're taking Superman, just make sure to pull the pit of your belly in and up to stabilize your low back. Rise up and off the floor. Length rather than height. Really squeeze your inner thighs together. Relax your glutes. Let your glutes be easy. One more breath. Stretch. Lower down. Rock your hips left and right. Locus or Superman, number 2. You can take the same pose or switch to the other one. Rise up. Up and away from the floor. Everybody pull the lowest part of your abdomen in and up into the front side of your spine to stabilize your low back. One more breath. Lower down. Hips side to side. Floor bone number 1, bend your knees and grab your ankles. We're taking 2, so if you want to take one leg at a time, that is always an option. Rise up, press your shins to the back of the room. Feet up to the ceiling. Those 2 pieces, keep moving back and forth between the 2. Shins back, feet straight up. Shins back more, feet higher up to the ceiling, lower down. Take it side to side. I know you're building it up, building up to the peak pose of the sequence. Second floor bow, switch legs or grab both legs again. Rise up. You have to get to a space where you let your mind get a little tired so that it's out of the way and your body can reach its full potential in your practice. One more breath. Lift. Lower down. Side to side. Upward facing dog. Rise up off your mat. Stretch your heart forward. Downward facing dog. Look between your hands. Step or jump through to sit. Make your way down onto your back for bridge pose. Yes, bridge pose. Press your feet into the floor. Rise up. You can clasp your hands at your low back or take cactus arms on the floor and pull your shoulder blades together that way. Let them integrate into center. Everybody press your big toe mounds into the mat. Connect. Last breath. Lower down. Knees left and right. Bridge number 2. Press down, rise up. You got it. Stick with it. The brain out of the way, now in your body and what's happening right here and right now. Press your flat feet straight down into the floor. Anchor them in. One more breath. Lower down. Knees left and right. All right, yogis, time for wheel pose. You can stick with bridge or move on to wheel number 1. Tuck your fingertips under your shoulders. Hands nice and wide like mat with distance. Press down, rise up. Bridge or wheel. Bridge or wheel. Eyes set on one spot. Tuck your chin, make your way down. Breathe in together. Breath out. Number 2, press, lift, go. Bridge or wheel. Feet fully connected to the ground. Keep pressing down with your big toe mounds in the center of your heels. Come on down. Breath in. Breath out. Number 3, you got this. Press down, rise up. The mind is out of the way now. Let the body do the work. You've done all of this work. Tuck your chin, come on down. Nice, Jacqueline. Breath in. Breath out. Number 4, you're past the halfway point. Press, lift, go. Bridge or wheel. You got it. Just keep stepping into the pose and seeing what there is to see. Tuck the chin, lower down. Breathe in. Breath out. Number 5, only 2 more. Bridge or wheel. Press, lift, go. Feet on the mat. Keep pressing your feet straight down into the floor. Tuck your chin and lower. Breathe in. Breath out. Last one, yogis. Bridge, wheel, the biggest back bend you've taken all practice. Make it happen. Press up and stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Oh, yeah. Press the soles of your feet together. Eyes stay open right up at the ceiling. Everybody take a long breath in through your nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Yeah. Some of you are yawning. What's that about? Happy baby or dead bug. Soles of the feet up to the sky. You can grab the edges of your feet or the backs of your thighs. Let that whole back get down on the mat. Then legs straight up in the air. Set yourself up for scissor legs. So either hands behind your head or hands underneath your hips for more support. Lower your right leg halfway to the floor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, switch your legs. Stay right here. Breathe in. Exhale, switch. Breath in and switch. Keep going with your breath. Really purposeful about those exhales so your abdominal muscles can pull in and help lift and lower your legs. Keep going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs straight up. Oh, yeah. You can move your hands to under your hips if you need to. Lower both legs 30 degrees to the floor. Lower them 60. Lower to hover. Open and close the legs. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs up. I know. It's been fun all day with the open and closing thing. Everybody's been enjoying it. Lower 30. Lower 60. Lower to hover. Open and close. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs straight up. Got one more set. Got it all day. Lower 30. Lower 60. Lower to hover. Open and close. Last time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs up. Knees into your chest. Yeah, that's been everyone's favorite today. Rock forward and back up into boat pose. Have either hands, a block, or your weights right at heart center in your boat pose. So you can have heels on the ground for more stability or lift your legs up for more of a challenge. Gonna row the boat side to side. Go for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. You got the 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Getting that work done, making that space. Right side half pigeon, right knee to right wrist. Then you want your thigh close to parallel with the outside edge of your mat. So you get to decide how far forward you bring the shin. If you're more flexible, it'll come closer to parallel with the front edge of your mat. If your hips are a little tighter, heel back towards your opposite hip works too. As you get yourself situated, give your head a place to rest, either on the floor or on a block. Sometimes on stacked fists feels good too. A place for the head to rest. Steady breath. Now's the time. It's a little easier to stay in the physicality of the body when you're moving more quickly through space and then you have something to pay attention to. When things get slower, the brain goes, hey, what's up? Let's chat about things that don't matter right now. Yeah, and the brain will come in and have something to say, and then you can just choose to stay here in the room. So as soon as you notice that you're being distracted, come right back to what's happening in the moment. What's physically happening? What's happening with your breath? It takes practice. The brain works like a muscle in that way. You have to keep retraining it back to the present moment, back to the present moment. Sometimes that's easier than other times. Just keep coming right back. Couple more breaths here in your half pigeon. You can stay right where you are or take king pigeon. You'll bend your back knee and grab a hold of your back ankle or your back foot. Doesn't matter which hand you reach back with. Nice juicy quad stretch. Good stuff. Downward facing dog. Shake it out. Left side half pigeon. Left knee to left wrist. Thigh parallel with the edge of your mat, and then get yourself situated. A place for your head to rest so your neck can be long and not have to hold up your head. I always like to remind everybody that the hip opening is really that time where your brain goes, your body should be symmetrical and exactly the same on both sides. And it's not going to be, so let them be two separate poses. Forget about what it looked like on the other side and just pay attention to what's going on right here. You do asymmetrical things with your body all day and then come on your mat and you're like, why is this not balanced? What the heck is going on here? Let it be its own separate pose. Stay or king pigeon. Grab that back foot. There's a couple of different ways to grab that back foot too. You could grab the ankle and flex your ankle so that your foot is flat up to the ceiling. Or you could point your toes up to the ceiling and kind of use your hand. Yeah, there you go, Allison. Hand on the top of your foot and then press it towards your hips to stretch the top of your foot and your ankle. Juicy, juicy. Downward facing dog. Let it go. Make your way through to sit. We're going to do cow face pose as the final hip opener. So right leg over your left. You want them to be so your knees are stacked and your legs can go out to the side. So for some of you, your legs might be straight. For others, your knees, your feet rather, will be back by your hips. My Siri's trying to tell me how to do this pose. So looks like this, one knee on top of the other. If you're more flexible, the legs can come further out. If your hips are tighter, bring them in, and you could even pull the top knee in towards your chest to get that stretch along the outside of your hip and deep into your glutes. See, I can still demo with a sprained ankle. We're fine. Sit up nice and tall. And then wherever you are, try to get an equal amount of weight in both of your sit bones, those little bony points in your butt. Press them down into the floor. Good. Tall spine. Switch sides. Opposite leg on top. And then different pose. So you adjust. Maybe this side the legs can come further forward. Maybe not so much. Pull that top knee up and into your chest. If you're super flexible and your knees stack really easy, you could fold forward to increase the hip stretch. My moon boot will not allow me to demonstrate that. Yeah, there you go, John. Steady rhythmic breath all the way to the end of your practice. Both legs straight out in front. Seated single leg extension is next. So right leg out, left heel in towards your right thigh. Fold over that extended leg. Point your toes up to the ceiling. Yeah, right toes up to the ceiling and then press out through the center of that heel. Let it reach and stretch the backside of your leg. Worry less about how far you can reach on your leg or grab your toes, more about just letting the top half of your body fold over your leg. Switch sides, left leg out, right heel in. Seated single leg extension. Melt over the extended leg. Toes up to the ceiling. Center of the heel away from your body. Press it away. Seated forward fold. Both legs straight out. Start with your arms up in the air to stretch and pull the sides of your body up. And then fold over your legs. So depending on how much stretch you've got in the back of your legs, you may need to bend your knees a little bit or a lot to get them situated. Take one more breath in here and stay for the exhale. Let it come out through your mouth. Then slowly unwind and lower your back down to the mat, bone by bone. Opportunity to get upside down. So headstands, handstands, any type of getting upside down. You can take waterfall or shoulder stand, your choice. If you're taking shoulder stand, make sure you start in plow. So both legs up and over behind you so that you can really get your arms based on your low back. And then legs up in the air. Whatever inversion you're choosing, you got all the tools that you need to help yourself get stable and situated. Breath, gaze, definitely the heat. Lots of shoulder stands. I like it. Waterfalls, pull the pit of your belly down towards the floor. Headstands and handstands. You've got another breath or two, and then child's pose to reset. Shoulder stands, move to plow. Let your legs go long behind you. Long legs in your plow. Then plow to deaf yogi. Bend your knees and hug them around the sides of your head. So you let your spine round like a C shape towards the front edge of your mat. Slowly lower back to the floor, piece by piece. Hug your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. Supine twist. Drop your knees to the right. Twist and look to the left. Melt your shoulder blades down to the mat. Even if that means that your top knee is floating up in space, that's fine. Just let your shoulders melt down. Supine twist, opposite way. Shoulder blades heavy, down into the floor. Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring your soles of your feet back together one last time. Knees open wide. Heavy bones, heavy bones. Shavasana. Let your legs go out nice and long. Arms out nice and long. You've got a cold eye towel by the upper corner of your mat. That can go on your face, your neck, your chest, wherever it feels like that is going to be the sweetest dessert at the end of your practice. Take one last breath in together. Fill up, fill up, fill up. Exhale it out. Let your entire body rest easy on your mat. Deepen your breath. Bring some movement back to your hands and your feet. And plant your feet on the mat and rock onto your right side. With your eyes still closed, press down and rise up. Take a comfortable seat. Inhale, reach your hands overhead. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. We'll finish our practice together with 3 final ohms. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath in, full exhale out. Thumb knuckles to forehead center. Thank you all so much coming into the studio, getting on your mat at home, and making a sweaty, sweaty practice happen. Namaste. Good work, everybody. Okay, if anybody borrowed any blocks or anything like that, leave them up in the front so I know which ones to clean off. And then eye towels, sweat towels, all those towels can go in the laundry basket at the front of the studio. Have an awesome rest of your Tuesday, and hopefully I will see you on Thursday night.